Hello there, my name is Luke, and in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 ways that you can become a more confident English speaker. 5 things you can do to speak English with more confidence. Yes, but before we do that, make sure you subscribe, and also after this video, check out my other videos. Also, check out the courses in the link in the description. If you like this video, you'll definitely like my courses. Okay, let's get started. First, we need to go over some common beliefs that people have about why their English seems to be not very good in a conversation. Okay, they try to have an English conversation, it doesn't go very well, and so you may ask yourself the question, why? And I think the common beliefs which are wrong, generally, are 1, I don't know enough words. I just don't know enough words. I need to study more words. As soon as I have enough words, then I'll be able to have a conversation, and that'll be great. Okay, 2, my grammar. It's my grammar. Oop. That's an M there. That's an M and that's an M, okay? Just trust me. My handwriting is famously okay. My grammar is not good enough. Here's the problem. These are not the reasons. It feels good to say these are the reasons. Why do you say these are the reasons? Because if you say this, you know what action to take to improve these things. You can learn 10 words. Oh, good, I learned 10 words. I feel much better. I learned 10 words today. Hey, Mom, I learned 10 words. Isn't that great? I'm gonna have a great conversation next time. Or, I bought a grammar book. I'm learning grammar. This is great. Next time, when I have a conversation, I will be more clear. So, okay, you learn your beautiful words, you learn some grammar, and then you go have another conversation, you try again. And what happens? You can't remember the words that you learned. You can't put all the pieces together in that situation. It's like they were there a moment ago, but as soon as the conversation started, they all disappeared. What is going on here? This is such a frustrating feeling, isn't it? It is. And it's because doing that was the wrong thing to do. So why? Why does this happen? Why do the words disappear when you actually need to communicate? Well, it's actually pretty simple. Things that you learn are like these little balls, right? And if they're disconnected to everything else, they have no connection to anything. They're not connected to each other. They're not connected to any situations. When it's time to really communicate, which is the goal of learning a language, these things just fall down. They sink down here. So now the words that you learned, they're all just sitting down here, and nothing is coming up in your head, because when you learn them by themselves, and so they're not attached to any real situation. Learning something and not using it, which means it's not really connected to any real situations, is kind of like taking a little pill that's going to dissolve. You took the pill, you swallowed it, but then it kind of just becomes nothing. Right? That's kind of what it's like. But if the things that you've learned and the things that you know are connected, so this is the things that you know, if these are connected to conversations, things you've said, if these are connected to situations, conversations, you're actually getting used to the feeling of finding words. And so the more you do it, the more connections this word or whatever it is has. And then the next time it gets easier and easier to use. And that's true for everything that you learn. The more you do it, the more you communicate, the more conversations that you have, the easier it will be to actually use what you've learned, and the more confident you will get. So now let's look at 5 keys to speaking English with confidence. 5 things that you can do to build your English confidence. And I want to make it clear that I'm not saying you shouldn't study words, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't learn some grammar and phrases. You should study. That's good. That's all fine. That's all fine. Maybe not grammar from books, but studying is good. I'm just saying that when you want to become better at speaking English, you may want to focus more on confidence than just learning more. I've had some very, very good conversations with English speakers at a really low level. They used the words that they knew very creatively. They weren't afraid to try. And you know what? The more they tried to express their ideas, the more we talked, the better they got, the more confident they got. Number 1, it only gets easier. Now, it may still be difficult to become very, very fluent, of course, but if you struggle to have conversations, if you keep doing it, it's only going to get easier. It's not going to get harder. And that's important to keep in mind. It's not always going to be very hard. Do it more. Challenge yourself more. Have more conversations. Pretty soon you will find, oh, this isn't so bad. This isn't so hard. 2, see yourself as a communicator. Nobody's perfect. Nobody is perfect. That means that you shouldn't worry about making 0 mistakes. You should be worried about making sure you can say what's in your head. Communication is about making what's in here get inside of someone else's head. That's all. Okay? Of course, it's better to become more fluent, but don't not speak because you're afraid to make mistakes. I make mistakes all the time. This is an edited video. Believe me, I've made about 45 mistakes so far, and I've cut those things out of the video. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. Number 3, remember, nobody really cares. Nobody really cares. Nobody is thinking, what an idiot. I can't believe you made mistakes. I can't believe you're trying to speak English to me. Nobody will do that. You care more than anybody else. After that first failed conversation, you go home. Oh, I just couldn't. The other person isn't thinking, oh, what a stupid person. They're probably thinking, what am I going to have for dinner? I wonder if, I need to pay my bills. Oh my God. They're thinking about other things, okay? Know that you care about your own performance more than anybody else does. And remembering that should help you relax. One of the main things getting in the way of confidence is worrying too much about other people's opinions. If you know that you care more than anybody else, you should be able to just say, well, you know what? I'm just going to say what I want to say. I'll do my best. If it's not perfect, fine, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try, and I'm not going to worry, because worrying will stop me from speaking, okay? So don't worry too much. Nobody cares. Number 4, maybe the most important one. Find opportunities to speak. If you're going to do anything well, you have to practice. Anybody who does anything well does it a lot. So you have to have conversations. Maybe that means you have a friend who you can speak English with, a language partner. Maybe that means you get a teacher sometimes who you can practice English with. Find some way to talk a lot, to communicate a lot. Having that opportunity will give you that pressure. Having that pressure will help you to push through the difficulty and gain confidence. Very important. Practice makes perfect. Before we go on to the last one, don't forget to subscribe, check out my other videos, and leave a comment. Also, if you enjoyed this video, you'll probably like my full courses, which are on Udemy. So make sure to check out that link in the description below this video. Okay, let's go on to number 5. Number 5, record yourself as a way to get used to speaking more. Every day, give yourself a little question. Write it down, like, what's the most interesting place you've ever traveled to? Write that question down, or any question. And then, turn on your recording app on your phone and just answer the question. Try to speak for 1 or 2 minutes. Yes, you're just by yourself, but it's helping to get you used to putting thoughts together, putting ideas together. Then you can listen to the recording again, take notes, write down things that could be better, other words you might have said, or maybe things that were incorrect, and then try it again. Do that every day. By doing that every day, you're going to find that it becomes easier and easier to say what you want to say. Now, that is not a replacement for number 4, because face-to-face conversations are very different than talking by yourself to your phone. Very different. So you still need to have a way to speak with someone in English and get feedback if possible. But it is something. It is something. And it can help you to improve your awareness as well. So if you keep these 5 things in mind as you continue to work on your English, I believe you will become more confident. Still important to study, to learn new things, but if you don't work on your confidence, do not expect yourself to become better at communicating in conversations. How could you? Nobody gets better unless they do it a lot. You've got to do it a lot. Alright guys, well thanks for watching. Keep these 5 keys in mind and you will definitely become a more confident English speaker. See you next time.